Well, who's this helpful soul you've managed to find? A friend from home? Maybe the Avowed who helped you in Candlekeep?
That's the one.
Who was that, by the way? Any chance I'd know their name?
It was Archmage Thesserai, Sage of Magic in Candlekeep.
Wait,
Yeah, maybe I should have mentioned that when I was explaining everything after I first got here.
And you can just contact him whenever you like?
Well, not really. He made it pretty clear that this was a limited privilege.
Still, he would even... But I... just talk to him already.
Sage Thesserai? This is Katra, the one with the... dragon issue?
I hope that you aren't using this stone just to ask for gardening advice or to tell me about a nice dog you saw.
Well, if by dog you mean a dragon that is having trouble getting back into his own body, then I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you.
Oh, now that's my kind of dog. Why am I still using this? Never mind. What progress have you?
To make this as brief as possible, we found the Rod of Alignment and were able to put Vair back into his body for a little while. But there was a complication, and his soul had to come back into me. However, we learned that there's a significantly larger problem on the way. Apparently, Demogorgon has found a way to enter our world and is about to tear open a portal from the abyss.
The Demogorgon? The Demogorgon, as in the sibilant beast, as in the two-headed monstrosity that could single-handedly end any given city if he sneezed at the wrong time?
Yeah, that's the one.
You're joking.
No, not this time.
Oh. That isn't exactly promising news. Before I start preparing an escape portal to literally any other plane of existence where he is not, what do you need from me?
Well, we were hoping that you might know how to beat him, or at least be able to find out.
Well, the obvious answer is to find a holy relic of commensurate power and kill him with it. However, those are few, far between, hidden and often unbelievably difficult to get to. It could take months just to find one powerful enough, and then there is every chance that should you manage to claim it, whatever god blessed the relic in the first place will decide to be a jerk and withdraw their power from it just because they don't like how you butter your toast or something else equally arbitrary.
We might not have that kind of time in the first place. Do you have any other ideas?
Aside from running away, make a new one.
Pardon?
Make a new sacred weapon, or at least something that can emulate a sacred weapon's properties. That could take just as much time, though, so you would need master craftsmen and powerful enchanters to help you.
Well, how good are the dwarven smiths of Mithril Hall?
Some of the best in the world. If anything, the mithril they mine there would be a very valuable ingredient for the weapon. That is, if we could get any. Why?
I think you two should talk. I'm probably just going to slow things down.
Me? Hello, Sage Thesserai of Candlekeep? I am Fengir Gearden, wizard in charge of magical defenses and research in Mithril Hall. Katra handed the stone to me. Well, first, I wanted to say that I am an ardent supporter of the Avowed and would give my beard to visit Candlekeep's libraries, but perhaps we should, for now, focus on the approaching Demon Lord. Right. I eagerly await your message. He wants to talk to you again.
You two debated for ages. Hope that was worthwhile.
It was. I'm not much of a craftsman myself, so Fengir's input is important. Still, even once I send the weapon schematics and inscriptions to him, the dwarves can only do so much. They are phenomenal builders and quite capable with magic, but we want the best if we can get it. Have you ever heard of the Moonwood?
No. Should I have?
Maybe. It's near to Mithril Hall, and the elves there are rather skilled spellweavers. Even if they do not know how to create the necessary enchantment, they will know someone who can.
I'll leave to find them right away.
Good, but one last thing. Even with this item, I'm sorry to say that you're rather small, pathetic, and squishy against something like Demogorgon. Did you find that storm giant I directed you to? What happened to them?
They had the rod like you said they would. And then that they would keep an eye on me or something. Said they thought I'd be in the middle of important things.
Well, you do seem to stick your nose where it doesn't belong, so that's apt. Tell me her name so that I can contact her. You will want some capable allies to join you in this fight. People or things that can hold their own against something strong enough to uproot trees and won't get in your way like the average soldier.
Her name is Nokra, but she doesn't care about small folk problems.
well, maybe Nalcra will be willing to lend a hand in saving the world as we know it. Now, excuse me, there is still work to do.
So apparently, we could theoretically just kill Demogorgon if we were strong enough, which we're not, and send him back to the Abyss that way. Our best option now is to use a holy weapon.
I could have told you that.
No one asked you! I'll be getting further instructions and specific schematics for how to make our own holy weapon soon. Once they're here, we have our work cut out for us.
Understood. Find the best weaponsmiths and crafters that we have for this project. I am not about to spare expense or take chances when we are trying to kill the next best thing to a deity. Good. That took longer than I would have liked, but better than finding out later that our best defense against Demogorgon is flawed and about as useful as a pickaxe without a handle. Now, take this. This letter of introduction was signed and sealed by our king. Seek Moonvines, a settlement in the Moonwood, and give this to the elves in charge. It explains the situation and should secure you an enchanter. Now that the cult is no longer a threat, Mithril Hall's gates are opening again. You can get to the Moonwood by going alongside the mountain until you come to a ravine. The trees you'll see on the bridge's far side are your destination. Good luck, and be quick.
The Underdark's deep gloom made Mithril Hall's lighted caverns seem bright as day. Finally stepping out into the sunshine again after so long, the world is blinding. You squeeze your eyes shut, waiting for them to adjust, as you listen to the breeze drift over the mountain and feel it brush against you, enjoying the first fresh live air you have felt in what feels like years. When you can finally open your eyes again, the view down into the plains and the green forest makes you smile, and you're ready to swear never to go underground again as the surface world beckons.
I have not been among elves in nearly a century. Dragons and elves have much to learn from each other and share great respect, but there has always been a tension between us, ever since the war that saw the elves overthrow dragonkind's rule.
Wasn't that war over 1,000 years ago?
Some wounds run too deep. They will always remember what my kind did to them before the fighting, and my kind will remember their actions in the war. These are pains that each of our children inherit, and we can only hope that the hurt fades just a little bit more with each generation.
That's relatable. Anyhow, where do you think their leader is?
They might not have a set leader, but I would guess that whoever is at the center of all things and looks the busiest is a good bet. Or you could always just ask around.
A human? I must say that it has been some time since one of your kind ventured into our part of the forest. My name is Naivara, guardian of Moonvines. What brings you to us? I have come from Mithril Hall with an urgent message and a letter from the king. The king himself? That seems excessive. What is this message?
Naivara's gentle expression turns stern as she reads. She begins examining the letter itself, the seal, the parchment it is on, and there is a flash of light around her eyes as she casts a spell during the investigation. When she is done, she looks at you with none of the levity that she greeted you with and hands the letter back.
We have had some strange creatures roaming the woods, but Demogorgon is another matter entirely. Forgive me, but I will have to verify this myself. Watch my body. I must step away for a moment. Ah! That was not pleasant, nor exactly expected. All right then. Well, in that case, we have a problem on our hands aside from Demogorgon. You need a weapon powerful enough to harm a demon prince and seal him back in the abyss. Unfortunately, we simply lack the capabilities to make anything like that, even with the supposedly marvelous weapon you carry. Well, what are we supposed to do then? Raise an army? Set a trap? While both of those are decent backup options, I may know a way to gain the power needed for such an enchantment.
Why can this never be simple?
There is a temple deeper in these woods, one dedicated to the moon deity Selyun. She has the best interests of mortals at heart, and her temple has been a site of blessings and great workings in the past. I have a nasty suspicion there's a nasty catch to this. Indeed, for the temple is guarded by a sphinx. She is generally good-natured and does enjoy the few visitors she gets. However, she also has a tendency to, well, she is a guardian as well as a judge, and if someone seeks the temple's power and she deems them unworthy, she tends to eat them. How does she determine if one is worthy or not? She seems partial to riddles and word games. She has also been known to, on occasion, eat someone even if they answered her questions correctly. Wow, what a cheater. Quite. So do I have to kill her to get the blessing? No, absolutely not. She is a servant of Selyun and placed there by the Moon Maiden herself. If you harm her, not only will you never receive the blessing, but you risk incurring Selyun's divine wrath. Then how do I prove myself worthy? Frankly, I cannot say for certain. The Sphinx has always been unpredictable, but there must be some code or command that she upholds, else Selyun would remove her.
Provided the deity's even bothering to check in.
The best I can say is to venture to the temple, ask her yourself, and never turn your back on her. And be ready to run like a pack of devils is on your trail. That's not entirely encouraging, but I don't have much of a choice here. I'll try. Good luck.
What excellent news. Not only is making the weapon we need to save Faerun more complicated than expected, we have to face a temperamental monster who may decide to kill you regardless of whether you pass her tests. Wonderful.
Just be glad that the two of us can puzzle out her trials together. I hope you're good at riddles, Vair.
I am not.
While I have you here, would you be willing to investigate something for me? I will, of course, pay you for your services. What do you need investigated? The elves of Moonvines have reported seeing strangers in purple robes traveling through the woods, but avoiding other people. We have also noticed that the old abandoned fortress of Methegrist now has lights shining through its windows at night. Hopefully this is nothing to be alarmed about, but it would ease our minds if you could determine what is happening there. I can do that. I'll be back when I know more. Thank you. Be safe.
Need a lift?
These robes look familiar. I cannot place them, but they do not inspire any sense of comfort, to be sure.
Oh, really? The robes are what made you feel uncomfortable? Not the people who are trying to kill us?
Well, yes, that too.
Vair? I think that these people are worshipping dragons.
Oh dear, that is not good.
Why? I mean, aside from their repeated attempts at murder.
Dragon cults are almost always oriented toward the crueler, vain dragons of the world. Chromatic dragons often enjoy or demand worship and service, while we metallic dragons seldom make such demands. When a cult appears, it is usually because they have already pledged themselves to one dragon or another. Worst case scenario, one of these cults managed to bring Tiamat from her domain in the realm of devils. She was defeated before she could be fully established in Faerun, but it was a close battle, and even that shadow of her was a living cataclysm.
Do you think they're trying to do the same thing here?
I certainly hope not, but it is a possibility.
Please, stop. I surrender. I've had enough of this place and it's not worth dying over.
Your friends seem to think otherwise.
They were fanatics, not me. I am sick of sacrificing and praying to something that isn't here. Hoping that a dragon will swoop out of the sky to save us from the demons or something. It seems ridiculous.
Yet, here we are. The irony is painful.
Then why join in the first place?
Because I was scared. I wanted to be protected from the demons when they came, and this seemed my best option. Now though, even if we survive the demons, the endless sacrifices, the violence, it cannot hold.
So there is not even a dragon here that you serve?
They were here for a few days, but then left, and I do not think they plan to return. They seem to be fleeing the invasion too.
Katra, if I might make a suggestion, tell them about us and speak on my behalf. Tell them to find a dragon worthy of service and one that will protect them. There are more metallic dragons in the world than people realize, and most would welcome the company.
Listen, this may be hard to believe, and sometimes I question it myself, but I have the soul of the noble golden dragon Endandravair living in my body. He says that you should all go out and find an actual dragon to serve. Better yet, find one that actually cares about you and reciprocates your affection and efforts.
Indeed, especially if you really insist on this worship nonsense. Yes, we are vain and awe-inspiring shards of elemental and divine power, but we are not actually gods. The ones who want you to think that they are gods are just the dragons that will betray or use and abandon you.
He says that any dragon who wants you to worship them as an actual god is the kind that will just stab you in the back when it suits them. He said it in more elaborate terms than that, but I honestly don't enjoy being his mouthpiece.
And how do we know that you've actually got a dragon inside you? This sounds particularly suspicious to me.
Is there anything we can do to prove it to them?
Not that I can think of.
I think you'll just have to take my word on it. Unless you want to start quizzing me on dragon lore or something else you might know.
No, I don't think I will. I do have a test in mind, though.
I have a bad feeling about this one.
Even if I were to cast a detection spell on you, the results won't tell me much. You could just be descended from a dragon, or blessed by one, or something else like that to give you a draconic aura. However, there is said to be an artifact nearby, one that only functions for true dragons, an orb activated by their essence. Part of why we came here was to help our Dark Lord to find it. He said that many older dragons have an idea of where to find it. If you really have a dragon whispering in your ear, have him lead the way, bring back the orb, and activate it.
That actually seems like something we could accomplish. I do remember something about a dragon eye orb being kept in this forest.
Well, if not, we have no reason to listen to you, even if we cannot overpower you.
We accept. We will show you a better way. Just wait for us to return.
Of course.
I will keep things calm here as best I can, and make sure that there are no ambushes or other traps set for you when you come back. Be quick, though. Some of these people are far from the patient type.
Nothing happens in a unicorn's forest that the unicorn is unaware of. Master of whatever woodland they are set to protect, unicorns have some control over their forests too. They use that influence in part to create hidden places like these, where they and other animals can come to rest without fear of intruders or violence.
Wait, Katra, the orb. It should have been left on that pedestal. Barring that, I should have sensed it as we came closer.
Well, what do we do now? Ask the ogre? Doesn't seem like a terribly...
Human, you have gold? Other shiny things? Need more treasure. Master turn us to stone or eat us if don't have.
Actually, I was wondering if you or your friends have seen a black ball around here. Looks kind of glassy.
No, you give treasure. That sword shiny. Give us sword, maybe I tell you.
I can't give you this sword. We need it for a greater battle.
Then we say nothing, we take sword.
Okay, I'll just make you tell me. But don't blame me when you get hurt. You did this to yourself.
Stop! I give up. I'm sorry. I'll tell you about Glass Ball.
Could have just done that from the start.
We find cave a while ago. Find ball in here with treasure. We bring back to Master. Come back looking for more. Maybe miss something.
This cave has been pretty well stripped, and I doubt there are any hidden chambers if the orb was out here.
And where is your master?
In big treehouse. Lots of bridges. Master lived there.
All right. Thank you for the information.
Seems we will have to pay this master a visit and introduce ourselves.
Something about this small lake puts you at ease. This part of the forest seems quiet, peaceful, and the animals sense it too. All manner of creatures come to drink here or rest on the banks. Though peace in the natural world is short-lived, and soon enough the visitors must leave to re-enter the dangerous wilderness.
Well, entertaining as it was to watch as you contended against my staff, the games will have to end here. As you've proven yourself a capable fighter, I offer you a deal. Work for me as my lieutenant and bask in my glory. Help me to build an army that we might claim these woods and the surrounding lands from the rest of your lowly and ignorant race. You will be respected and feared as a servant of Gottsack.
What's the alternative?
I am in a generous mood, so I would give you a choice of how you wish to die. Would you prefer disintegration, petrification, having the life sucked out of you? Or should I simply eat you? I might even put you to sleep first as a final mercy, if you beg.
All beholders are self-centered, Katra. You may be able to use that to your advantage, though he might likewise try to trick you. Just know that he will never give up his treasure or do anything that does not benefit him.
I'm not a big fan of any of those options, so I think I'll just fight you and take what I want instead.
Did you really have to announce that to him?
Then you are doomed.
Exactly.
It allows a dragon to contact anyone else who possesses these orbs, no matter where they are in the multiverse. The Maid is a way of maintaining our empire before the small folk overthrew my kind thousands of years ago. I suppose we had little use for them once dragons became more solitary creatures after the empire's collapse.
Well, it sounds like the cultists wouldn't be able to use it for anything on their own then. Let's just get it back and get this over with.
Good, you're back. Some of the group have been getting restless, and the one who spoke against you earlier has been taking advantage of that to rock the boat. I don't know how much longer I could have convinced them to wait for you. You have the orb?
Yes. I have returned with the orb, as you demanded.
Have you now? Well then, give it here. Let us see if it is real.
Not to you. We will let a more neutral person identify it. You do the honors.
Let me see that. Come on, work!
You know that only a dragon can use it. You said so yourself.
Then let us have your new savior try their hand at it, shall we? Since they are secretly a dragon and all that.
Well, go on then.
This is going to take a moment. Now, let's see. Who do I know even has one of these things anymore? Ah, Isilvindra should work. She's not the type to hunt us down simply for disturbing her nap, unlike some others I know.
Interesting. I have not seen this artifact come to life in over a century. Who calls to me?
Well, go on, say something.
I speak for the dragon Endandra Vair. He sends his greetings and wishes to know if all is well.
Endandra Vair, that stuffy stick in the mud. Well, that is a surprise, though a pleasant one. Tell him that there is trouble in my territory, as an abundance of demons have begun appearing, though I cannot say from where or how. Any aid or advice would be...
Fool! That you would try to steal my own faithful away from me? The arrogance of you mortals.
Vair, what happened? Who are we talking to?
Ah, now I remember why we stopped using them. Aside from the fact that most of us do not enjoy working together, Bahamut and Tiamat also had a nasty habit of eavesdropping on our conversations and sometimes hijacking the orbs. I will give you one guess as to which one of them is using the orb now.
As this disloyal collection of worms seems to need a demonstration of my superiority, I grant my favor to the one who remains steadfast. Go! Kill this interloper and the pathetic excuse for a dragon that they carry with them. Then purge this group of doubters and unbelievers and worship me as is my right. Go!
My divine lady's will be done!
Quick, Katra, repeat after me.
Behold, there is your proof. Even Tiamat herself either cannot grant the power to protect you, or she simply does not care enough to preserve you. Otherwise, this man would have been unbeatable. Search for a worthy savior elsewhere.
That was... I did not think that you could win. When Tiamat intervened, I thought that the both of us, we would be... Does Endandravair grant you this power? Did he give you something that you could overcome one who was empowered by a deity?
No. My strength is my own.
Oh. Still, even though you have proven your point, we do not have anywhere to go or anyone to guide or protect us from the tide of demons. I fear for our future.
Katra, if you could suggest something for me.
Shidin, Endandravair asked me to tell you that you should seek his home in the Cloud Peaks. He shall be restored to his body soon, and regardless of whether he does so by fighting demons here or at my home, he promises to do his best to protect you. Provided that you are willing to give up worshipping evil dragons, that is. Personally, I'd also suggest tidying up his lair and protecting it until he returns, as a way of thanking him.
That seems more than fair. Yes. Yes, I will do that. Do you hear that? Endandravair will return, and he promises to bring us under his wing, so long as we are willing to abide by his ways. The journey to the south shall be my pilgrimage and penance for the wrongs I have committed in Tiamat's name, and I will dedicate myself to my new lord's teachings. Anyone else who will do the same is welcome, and I would be glad for the company. I suppose I should thank you for this. It will be a long and particularly dangerous road, but it is one that I can walk with my head held high, knowing that I am doing better things.
Good luck, Shidin. Endandravair will be back shortly to meet you. I promise.
Thank you and good luck.
Did you really mean that? You'll protect them when you get your body back?
Well, I figured that I might as well keep some staff around to help me here and there. My protection will be one of their employee privileges, let's just say.
You're going soft on me.
I fail to see how keeping a group of butlers who worship me is any form of weakness.
Sure.